Today, we're embedded for the fourth time with the Nebelwerfer, or rocket launcher, Regiment 51. This dragon was their unit's insignia, or Wappen. In Part 3, we saw how the formation played an important role in forcing the crossing over the river Dwina and breaking through the Stalin Line. We'll continue with the private film footage that was taken by a member of the unit using a simple 8mm camera, and, using an original situational map, we'll follow their progress as they advance on the strategically important city of Witebsk. With a translated entry from the war diary of the German High Command, you'll get a good overview of how it all fit together. The 51st Nebelwerfer Regiment was operating in close cooperation with the 20th Motorized Infantry Division and the 7th and 20th Panzer Divisions during the early stages of Barbarossa. I certainly suggest that you take a look at the videos I posted related to those units. If you like the way I weave multiple primary sources together to create these videos, please take a look at the website military1945.com, where you'll find additional film footage that can't be shown here. Eventually, there will be a full video-on-demand channel situated there. But for now, let's get back to the 51st Nebelwerfer Regiment and their advance east during July of 1941. Regiment 51 first saw action at Minsk, and then at Ulla in support of the 20th Panzer Division and Beschenkowitschi with the 20th Motorized Infantry Division, which allowed for the building of this pontoon bridge across the Dwina River and represented the breakthrough of the Stalin Line. The infantry and tank men were now excited about their unexpected combat effectiveness. But as the race east continued, supply lines lengthened, and not until early 1942 would the regiment be fully resupplied. Pushing the tank and motorized infantry formations forwards meant leaving splintered Soviet elements behind for the following infantry and artillery to deal with. The distances between the motorized units and the following infantry now was often so large that the Soviets had time to regroup, and the German foot soldiers actually had to attack through enemy lines for a second time. Here the 51st has come across Soviet troops that have been bypassed. All too often the regiment is fired on by armed civilians and snipers that seem to be led by Soviet commissars that have been intentionally left behind. Only with MG cover is it safe to bathe in the river. Other times these sprung elements are totally harmless and looking for someone to surrender to. With increasing frequency, the tank units were forced to turn around and attack west to allow for the catching up of the slower formations. Since Regiment 51 was attached to the lead mobile units, most of the rockets fired during the late summer of 1941 were being launched in a westerly direction. This damaged Panzer has been picked up by a half-track to be brought in for repairs. The unit that it belongs to is most certainly kilometers ahead. This sequence of footage is noteworthy because it shows locals bringing their food supplies to a German-managed depot. The last scene seems to show the women waiting to be given their rationed allotment. There's an air of cooperation. Advancing quickly, the regiment catches up to the lead panzer formations situated in the area around Witebsk and engaged in heavy combat. Here we are passing the divisional headquarters of the 20th Panzer Division on our way to the front. The tank formations do not get involved in the fighting in the city. The highest priority is to get the bridge across the river serviceable. On July 11th, the Soviets destroyed the 52-ton tank situated in the southern section of the city, which makes the repairing of the bridge possible. The city has been almost completely destroyed. Only the brick chimneys remain standing, which give the area the eerie feel of a cemetery. If If you'd like to see a more detailed account of how Witebsk was taken, take a look at part 4 of the series, which covers the 20th Panzer Division. That series contains gorgeous color footage taken by a soldier in an attached recon unit. For the Russian civilians that have remained in the city, there's chaos. There's a rush on the food stores, and the Germans try to keep order, but almost everything disappears. Wehrmacht soldiers that take part in the plundering are also dealt with severely. Early in the fighting for the bridge, this German panzer was knocked out, which made crossing with heavy vehicles difficult. When the fighting died down, they managed to push it to the side. Here we are looking at the situational map for July 11th of 1941 for Army Group Center. This is the entry from the official war diary of the German High Command, or Kriegstagebuch des Oberkommando der Wehrmacht. Bei der Heeresgruppe Mitte erweitert Panzergruppe 2. In Army Group Center, Panzer Group 2 has extended its bridgehead, advancing in the direction of Yelnya. The 2nd and 9th Armies continue moving east towards the Panzer Groups. Panzer Group 3 has been able to fend off Soviet counterattacks and solidify its position to the east of Witebsk. The Soviet 153rd Rifle Division was led by Nikolai Gagin. Due to its distinguishing combat record in Belarus and Smolensk, in September, it was one of the first Soviet divisions to be awarded Guards status, becoming the 3rd Guards Rifle Division. Soviet Guards units were considered elite and often received higher quality equipment and replacements. This photograph shows a Soviet soldier from a Guards unit in front of his divisional banner. The slogan that can be seen behind him is similar to that in this propaganda poster. It reads, Smert niemieckim okupantom, or Death to the German occupiers. As part of Panzer Group 3, Nebelwerfer Regiment 51 was to continue advancing east and take part in the taking of Smolensk. This strategically situated city would be a staging area that would be a springboard for the final push towards Moscow, which would end the war. At least, that was the plan. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, please go to military1945.com where you can see footage regularly uploaded that can't be seen here. Around the end of the year, a full video-on-demand platform will be up and running there. You'll love it, I promise. Thanks for watching.